I exit the room and head down the hall until I reach 3 doors, one of which leads to my accommodations. Now that I'm alone, I finally feel sleepy. My anxiety must be coming down. I'm pretty confident that I'll knock out the second my head hits the pillow. I feel a little guilty using the room meant for homes, but I'm grateful all the same. Planning to stay awake, I open the door. My goodness me, Wato, you certainly did take your time. Huh? There's no way I should be hearing that voice right now. Within the guest room is a large bed. Upon it sits Holmes, smiling gleefully.
My goodness me, Wato, you certainly did take your time. I'm relieved to see you've opened up to other detectives. You're just adaptable as you were in your childhood.
Saika? No, it couldn't be. She died right in front of me, I'm sure of it. Drenched in blood, her limbs gashed. It was a horrid, hopeless death.
That's right, I'm a motherfucking ghost. You failed to save me twice now.
Bitch!
What's wrong? You look as if you've seen a ghost. Though, to be fair, I am dead, so I suppose that's technically true.
From the bed, Holmes gently floats into the air. What's more, her body is slightly translucent, to the point where I can see the wall behind her. What is this? What's going on? My drowsiness is gone in an instant, yet I feel like I'm already dreaming. Wait, that's it. This is a dream. It has to be. Yeah, I'll just pinch my cheek and... Darn it. I don't have the strength to make it hurt. Alright, once more, with all my might. Ah, ouch. This isn't a dream. But how?
Now, why the sudden act of self-harm? Has my absence caused you that much distress? I'd give you a pat for comfort, but I fear I'd just pass right through. How's this, Wato? Can you feel my hand sticking into your head?
Well...
Evidently not. What a shame. I was so looking forward to coming up from behind and giving you a good scare. I tell you, Wato, being a ghost certainly has its inconveniences.
I know, right?
Eh?
Sure.
Oh dear.
No longer able to control myself, I let out an ear-splitting scream. Outside, and hear what I assume is the pounding of footsteps fast approaching. Sir Incompetent, are you in peril? 'Tis I, Armor Detective, here to protect you. Armor forcefully throws open the door. I slacken at the sight of my friend, sinking into the ground. Armor, look, it's Holmes. Lady Holmes? Where? Where is she? Can't you see her? She's right next to you, in front of me. Holmes stands directly before Armor and waves her hands, but he doesn't respond. What in the world could this mean? Is this all just a prank? Is everyone else in on it?
Incompetent, you alright, bro? I'll be damned if I allow any more harm to befall my dear comrades. Come, male fact, thou shalt become rust upon my blade.
One person after another flies into the room, but none of them notice Holmes. Slowly but surely, the situation I'm in begins to dawn on me. I see. Now I get it. I'm just hallucinating. Hallucinating? So all your screeching moments ago was no cause for alarm? Yeah, I know this is going to sound silly, but for some reason I can see Holmes. She's right by your side, Armor. Though you can't actually tell, can you? By my side? Can you hear my voice, Lady Holmes? I've many a query for you. Pray reveal yourself to me.
届いているよ。最後までホテルで見せなくてすまない。
Yes, I can hear you. It's regrettable that we were unable to finish our discussion, Armor.
The ghost has a bitter smile on her troubled face as she apologizes. No matter how much I stared, she really does look just like Holmes. Probably coincidence. It has to be delusion born of my guilt, but the level of accuracy is honestly frightening. I think I've become this mentally invested. Sorry for causing a scene.
まあ、無事ならよかったぜ。
Main thing is you're safe.
ただ、気はしっかり
Just keep that head screwed on. I've seen this happen out in the wilderness before. Even normal stuff seems when your brain's all jumbled. You'll end up making phantoms out of molehills.
Thanks, Rowdy, but I think the expression is making mountains out of molehills. I feel a bit uneasy correcting a mistake. An angry Rowdy is way scarier than any phantom.
Was it truly just a hallucination? Incompetent detective?
Huh? Yes, I think so. You're full of shit. Mystic stares me down skeptically. It seems I'm under suspicion, but that's only natural after I gathered everyone here with my screaming just to write it off as a delusion. I've got to be careful. Even I think my words sound dubious. If this keeps up, I'll lose what trust I have in no time.
I'd like to make this clear since you seem to be mistaken, but I'm not a hallucination, you know. I'm here to haunt your ass.
Yeah. Holmes' face suddenly appears from behind Mystic. Startled as I am, I hide it from my face and whisper quietly to myself. Mind reading too. Yeah, I'm definitely hallucinating. I'm not falling for it.
Your face says it all. It's easy to surmise your thoughts even without reading your mind, though it seems I am, in fact, able to do so. You still doubt me. How about I tell you who's sleeping in the room above? I'd wager you don't know the answer to that one. I passed through the walls a moment ago to check. Armor is next door, while Rowdy and Gourmet are above. Care to confirm with them?
I don't like the idea of this hallucination manipulating me, but it can't hurt to make sure. She's probably wrong anyway. Time to get this sorted out. So, Rowdy, Armor, which rooms are you two staying in?
Kinda out of the blue question, but the one right above us. What is it to you?
My chamber is right beside yours. Should you truly encounter a threat, I shall, as ever, hasten to your aid. Pray set your mind at ease, good sir. Ah, I see.
Do you believe me now?
Holmes wears the same impish grin she had when she was alive, plus the same face, voice, and so forth. It's enough to make my head spin. My eyes and ears are playing tricks on me. This can't be the real Holmes. She was killed, murdered in cold blood, right before my very eyes.
All good there, bro? You're so pale. You look like the inside of an eggplant.
Sorry, I guess I really am exhausted. I ought to get a good night's rest. Would be for the best. Weariness oft sets in after a harrowing ordeal.
Armored Detective is right. Incompetent. Your mind has been pushed to its limits. Should it ever be too much to shoulder, you are welcome to confide in me. I shall do my utmost to ease your burden. Are you alright, Incompetent?
Still got all your limbs on, dude?
That's a little much, don't you think? You can clearly tell he's still alive. For now. The nerve of this common rabble to cause me distress. How deplorable.
It took around 15 minutes to explain the situation and apologize to the gathering crowd. After more or less wrapping things up, the others returned to their rooms and left me to my own devices. Or so I thought. That ghostly girl was still in front of me. After correctly locating the others' rooms, I'm starting to believe she's the real deal. If Holmes actually had survived, if I could get the chance to apologize to Saika, I'd be happy beyond words.
どれだけ嬉しいことか
I'm gonna fucking watch you when you sleep.
嬉しいことを言ってくれるな
That's kind of hot.
Happy beyond words, hmm? I suppose that makes two of us.
Reading my mind again, I guess I really am losing it.
早合点するんじゃない
No need to be hasty. Admittedly, even I don't fully understand the situation, but it seems to be something quite extraordinary. My apologies for giving you such a fright. Allow me to explain from the beginning.
I died. Twice. Wasn't that fun?
And it's all your fault. Couldn't
Yeah,
freaking
both
save
times.
me.
Both times all your fault. Holmes speaks calmly, as if there's nothing out of the ordinary about what's going on.
結論から言ってしまうとおそらく
To summarize, I, Psycha Sharon Fold Holmes, appear to be a residual memory of sorts, or to put in simpler terms, a ghost.
Ghosts? You mean they actually exist?
それはわからない探偵の経験は
Of course, dumbass. I mean, who can say? While I may be a seasoned detective, I've only been a ghost for 2 hours. I'm just as clueless as you are, so please save your inquiries.
ただ
Like, just watch the movie Ghost. You'll get a quick tutorial on what you should be doing. As I'm hard-pressed to describe it in any other way, however, I've opted to go with the term residual memory.
But don't watch Ghostbusters, and don't repeat what they do. That would be bad. Isn't that a little careless? Relying on hypotheticals for things you can't explain, I mean.
君は探偵小説を愛読しているだろ
You're a fan of mystery novels, yes? Then surely you're familiar with this Holmes quote. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. In other words, the facts have disproven all other options, that which must remain to be a fact, no matter how unrealistic it appears.
That line comes from the second Sherlock Holmes story, The Sign of the Four, where Watson is befuddled by a seemingly impenetrable room. Watson then notices a possibility he had overlooked, that the criminal had escaped outside without ever touching the floor. It was a quintessential approach for Holmes, who presented conclusion after conclusion that common sense would never produce. True, Sherlock does seem to deduce truths that seem impossible at a glance, but what does that have to do with this?
Sherlock Holmes doesn't make baseless deductions, rather he observes the facts, then derives the process from the results to form his hypothesis. As a bearer of his family name, I also practice this method of hypothesis-based inference known as abductive reasoning.
But to conclude, you're a spirit. It's hard to believe. But to conclude your spirit, it's hard to believe.
And yet the truth has occurred before our very eyes. Progress cannot be made if we avert our eyes from reality. I didn't believe in the paranormal either. But in my current predicament, I can only assume I'm a spirit, or residual memory, or what have you. My hypothesis may seem far-fetched, but I do hope you're beginning to accept it.
Well, there's no arguing with her. I don't have any convincing counter-theories to offer. Given this isn't one big hallucination, there's no other explanation besides what Holmes has proposed. First things first, I need to come to terms with this, that Holmes' spirit really has appeared before me.
You're an awfully dour sort, Wato.
Holmes lets out a chuckle as I clutch my head in my hands.
To be fair, it's only natural to be taken aback when a girl who supposedly died suddenly appears before you. One thing I'd like to note, however, while I may seem calm on the outside, I too am quite bewildered by this turn of events.
Wait, really? If anything, she seems more vibrant than when she was alive. That's exactly why I can't let go of my lingering doubts.
当たり前さ。ふと気づけば私はワト君の頭上で
But of course, by the time I came around, I was already floating above your head.
地に足はつかず、何にも触れ
My
ら
feet
れず
hover above the ground. I can't touch a thing, and no one else can see me. Moreover, it's as if I'm bound to you by an invisible chain.
ワト君のそんな状態に陥って
You truly believe I could remain composed given all that?
No, there's no way. If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't know what to think. I would have called out to everyone I could find and worked myself into a panic.
私もついワト君に声をかけてしまったよ。
I couldn't help but call out to you, either. Your slight reaction at the time had me thinking that you might be able to see me.
だから君が一人に
And so I've been waiting quietly this whole time to catch you alone.
Now that you mention it, I did feel as if I heard your voice in the entrance hall. So it really was you.
驚かせてすまない。
Forgive me for startling you. I must admit I was nearly at my wit's end by that point.
そしてみんなが話していた断片的な情報を整理していく
As you all recounted the events, I began to piece together the reality of the situation.
自分が例の黒いメカに殺
I'm dead, and you're useless.
意識だけ
The
の
reality being
Case
that
solved.
the reality being that I'd been killed by that black machine. That my physical form was lost, leaving only my consciousness behind.
I gulp involuntarily. It isn't simply that Holmes is ordering me to accept reality, rather, I'm coming to terms with something as complex as death. Despite being the same age, I am once again made aware of how different we are as individuals. Aren't you sad?
悲しいって
Hmm?
何がだ
Whatever about?
I can fly now, bitch! I mean, you died. You can't come back to life. What's more, you were killed because the rest of us were too useless to help.
顔を上げてくれワト君
Stiff upper lip, Wato.
Holmes moves delicately toward me. Her stern expression softens as she continues to speak.
まあ何が起きているかはともかく今は
Whatever the circumstances, let us cherish this reunion. I am no illusion. The two of us are genuinely able to converse with each other.
私たちの絆は死をもってしても
Not even death could sever our bond. What could be more joyous than
こ
that?
れほど嬉しいことが
Holmes speaks in a quiet tone. Her voice truly is the same one I remember hearing not too long ago. Her expression exudes wisdom and wit, with a tinge of innocence mixed in. The traces of Saika, the girl I've seen so many times in my dreams, grew more and more pronounced. You really are Holmes.
だから何度もそう言っているじゃないか
That's why I've been insisting this entire time. It truly is me, your dear friend, Saika Sharonfold
本
Holmes.
人だよ
Holmes' words move me, albeit belatedly. I was sure she had died. There are so many things I wanted to tell her. I thought I'd never see her again. Now she's here, smiling before me. It's all I can really ask for. She did die, though. That part happened. Welcome back, Holmes.
ただいまワト君
It's good to be back, Wato.
It doesn't matter if she's a ghost or a residual something or other. Holmes has returned. For now, I'll let myself be happy. Happy that I was able to reunite with someone dear to me. Huh?
おっと気が抜けて眠たくなってきたのか
Oh my, have you grown tired?
私が君と結びついている理由について
I was going to share my thoughts on why it is I'm bound to you. I suppose I can wait till tomorrow.
ただ眠るなら電気を消してベッドへ移
Though,
動して
if
くれ
you're
よ
planning to sleep, you may want to turn off the lights and get into bed.
何でもすり抜けてしまう私では
My body phases through everything, so I won't be able to carry you over and tuck you in.
Alright, I'll do that. I flip the switch, plunging the room into complete darkness. My drowsiness is quickly overtaking me. I can't fight it off any longer. My eyelids fall shut as I hit the bed. My consciousness grows distant, but I can swear I hear a voice from far away.
ここから君の運命はもっと過酷になるだろう。
From here on, your fate will be a cruel one.
No thanks.
頑張れ
Really reassuring.
ワト君。
Give it your best, Wato.
I can hear a voice speaking from somewhere. It's the voice of a man, echoing angrily in the drab, dusty darkness.
何度この実験を続けるつもりだよ。
I'm not sure. There's how many times do you intend to repeat these experiments? I follow along because I believed it was the just thing to do, because this is my limit. This entire organization is rotten, and you're the most putrid rot of all. His outrage bounces off the walls, causing them to tremble. I can tell just how truly furious he is. But what about...
ワト君、こっちだよ。
Oh, God, I can't have no idea who's who when they're not telling me.
Yeah.
What's over here? Someone tugs at my hand from behind and I turn around.
I mean, I'm assuming that was ideal because no one else calls him Wato, but I don't know. Unless
Well,
it's like flashback.
It might be it could be the flashback, yeah. The one pulling me appears to be a young girl, but I can't make her face out in the darkness. Nevertheless, her warmth feels familiar. I know this
ど
girl.
うしたの？気づかれる前に早く行こう。
What's wrong? We need to get out of here quickly before they notice us.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is his dream flashing back to the past, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, those voices had me curious.
気持ちはわかるけど、逃げること優先だよ。
I understand, but escaping is our top priority right now. Come on, hurry.
The girl pulls my hand and begins running, but I want to listen longer. As we move, I keep my sight directed toward the sounds.
俺の目の前で何人死んだかわかるか。この手で何人殺したか知ってる。
This is some other guy, isn't it?
毎晩
Oh yeah, how many have died right in front of me? How many have I killed? Those brats show up in my sleep every night begging to be spared.
俺にはもう耐えられねえ。
I can't take this shit anymore. If you want to keep forcing kids into this, do it yourself. You know everyone is insane, god damn it. You, this organization, the detectives, every last one of you.
あんたもこの数
We enter a dim passageway and the voices become inaudible. A nice cold breeze blows through my legs. Blows through my legs, causing my body to shiver. It's freezing. My legs won't move. Or is it that my body is refusing to keep going? Ugh. An intense pain shoots through my head, and I fall to my knees. I have no idea what's happening to my body, but oddly enough, I'm certain of one thing. Something horrific waits ahead.
ワト君、大丈夫？
Wato, are you alright?
The girl calls out to me in the darkness. I really can't see her face at all. The touch of her hand is the only indication that she's standing right in front of me.
大丈夫。きっと私た
It's
ち
alright. We'll definitely make it.
帰ったら
Once we're back, we.
Huh? Her voice cuts in and out like a radio with a weak signal. Before long, the warmth of her hand is gone.
待って。
Wait. Panicking, I dash further into the passage, as if I were chasing after her. My frenzied footfalls ring out through the impenetrable darkness. The voices I had heard earlier are gone. A feeling of complete and utter isolation washes over me, like I'm the only person left on Earth. I can't help but cry out.
行かないで。
Don't go! Please, don't leave me alone! As I continue on, a light appears ahead of me. I run toward it with all my strength. I run. And run. Until ahead of me, I see the familiar sight at the entrance hall. Wait, this is... What happened to the passageway I'd just been running down? Where's the girl who was with me? Why am I in the manor? Did I somehow arrive here at some point? The inside of my head burns with agony. I can't shake the feeling that something terrible is happening.
安心しろ、ワト君。君は
At ease, Wato. This is all to be expected.
Holmes descends the staircase from the second floor. I'm relieved to finally see a friendly face. Holmes, what's going on with me?
まあ落ち着け。深呼吸でもして。
Now, you can calm yourself. Take a deep breath and take your time remembering.
As instructed, I take a deep breath and try to recall what had happened. That's right, after I bumped into Holmes' spirit in my room, we spoke until I got sleepy. Wait, am I in a dream? That must be it.
半分正解で、半分不正解だ。
You're half right and half wrong. You're in the spirit world.
Oh, cool, I guess. Ouch. I yelp as Holmes flicks my forehead. Huh? That hurt. What the? If this is a dream, why can I feel pain?
私の思念は君と深く結びついているようだな。
Our minds are closely intertwined. It seems I can read your thoughts, into your dreams, and even interfere with your
君
perception.
の意識に干渉すること。
Interfere with my perception?
噛み砕いて言えば、触れたり、痛みを与えたりする
Simply
ことも
put, I'm able to touch and hurt you. If you don't believe me, shall I give that thick skull of yours another smack?
もう一発お見舞いし
I get it, Really, I do. Your reprimands get physical when you're in my dreams.
エグザクトリー。賢い頭に
Precisely. Such a clever boy deserves a pat rather than a punch, hmm?
She lays a hand on my head as she speaks. Her kind touch reminds me of how lifelike Holmes seems right now. Of course, the situation is objectively unreal. I'm a bit ashamed at how easily I'm willing to believe any of this is true.
さて、ワト君。重要なのは
Now then, Wato, this is the important part. What do you make of this scene before you?
どう思う
What do I make of it? This is the entrance hall of the manor, exactly as I've known it. The level of detail is almost too incredible to be a dream. It's hard to not be impressed at my mind for making it. I'm so smart. I don't notice anything in particular. Is there something here?
やはり
As I thought, you still lack the proper foresight. You're still as stupid as ever.
Aw, not again. Holmes takes my hand and walks toward the entrance, pulling me along.
ワト君。私と思念が結びついたということは
Wato, the deep connection our psyches share has resulted in major changes in your brain.
具体的に言えば
Watch, his brain is just getting fried because of her.
Yep.
In more concrete terms, I've no doubt that you've gained access to the special ability I possessed while I was alive.
Oh, cool. Special ability? What ability? My head's been pounding for a while, but I haven't noticed any changes to my body.
それはどうかな
I wonder, can you feel anything at your feet?
My special ability was, I always felt like I was walking on sand, no matter where I went. It wasn't actually that useful. My feet? Now that she mentions it, I do feel something touching my foot. I look down to inspect it. What I see is... What? I finally process what's touching me. It's Downtown's arm. Stiff like a porcelain doll, her hand is coated in a dark liquid, leaving a crimson red handprint where she made contact. I leave as the metallic stench hits my nose, but since this is a dream, I have nothing in my stomach to vomit out. It isn't just Downtown Detective. The other detectives I've met lie in a heap upon the floor, like figurines toppled from a shelf. Among them is Doleful, prone and lifeless. Rowdy's hand stretches toward me as she foams at the mouth, her eyes rolled up, unmoving. Doleful! Everyone! I rush to Doleful and check for a pulse, but feel nothing. I hear no voices nor breathing aside from my own. Not one of them is showing even a single sign of life. Downtown's face, which usually wore such a carefree smile, is frozen and contorted in anguish as blood still trickles down it. She was so full of energy just last night. Thought brings me to tears. It's unforgivable. Who could do something so horrendous?
見えた悲劇
It seems you too have now seen how this tragedy plays out.
Holmes walks over to me as I stand rooted in place. Upon seeing her face, I'm finally able to regain some composure. Silly me, getting all worked up. This is just a dream, right? These people outshine me in every way. They would never get massacred like this.
繰り返しになるが半分正解で半分不正確
At the risk of repeating myself, you're half right and half wrong.
夢
This is a dream, but also not.
どういう意味ですか
What's that supposed to
はっきり
mean?
と教えてください
Please just tell me
ホームズ
outright,
さん
Holmes. Holmes flashes her coldest smile yet. The tone of her voice as she answers sends shivers down my spine.
これはこの先で起こりうる未来の悲劇
This is a tragedy that could occur in the future. You have gained the ability to foresee such events.
You've gained the
Hold on, I'm
Monato's
getting a
power.
call. I'll be
Oh,
back.
you're getting a
shortly.
call?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I wake up on my bed. The morning sun shines through the window, filling the dusky room with light. My whole body is soaked from night sweat, but despite just waking up, my wits remain sharp. It feels like I was sleeping, and more like I simply opened my eyes.
夢
Was that all a dream? My hands tremble as the tragic scene I had witnessed moments ago flashes through my mind. I was definitely there just now. I saw a downtown detective's corpse, my hand soaked in blood. It felt far too real to be a dream. Could that really have been a potential future tragedy, like Holmes said?
そうだホーム
Oh,
ズさん
that's right.
ホームズさんは
Holmes. Holmes and I had been speaking in my dream, but now she's nowhere to be seen. I calm down and my confusion begins to fade. As it does, the absurd events that took place when I entered this room, not to mention in my sleep, feel more and more like an illusion.
そっ
That's right. Holmes died.
そうだ
Everything that happened last night,
ね
including me talking to her, was all just in my head.
そもそも
After all, there's no way someone who died could reappear as a ghost right before my eyes.
あるわけがないしね
おはようワト君いい夢を見れたかな
I'll do this. I'll do this real quick. Then I actually do need to step away. My dad needs help with something. I'm hoping it won't take too long. All right.
Okay, sure.
So I'll read this. Good morning, Wato. I do hope your dreams were pleasant.
That's
Just
so
like
fucking
her,
funny.
I'm gonna disappear.
That's so fucking funny. She just popped out from the ceiling.
that's dope. So, all right, but yeah, sorry about that. I do need. To step
Yeah,
away.
it's fine.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll keep the VOD on. I'll just plug in my headphones on my phone. So like, I'll put the stream on my.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
not, that way you don't need to. All right.
Yep. Holmes' body pops out of the ceiling. I suppressed my shrieking before another managed to burst out. Talk about a close one. I was on the brink of getting the other detectives all worried about me again.
どうして天井から体を
Did you really have to fly out of the ceiling?
上の階の住人に
I was merely checking on the others on the upper floor. Where May has a funny way of sleeping. Here to hear about it? I love how much of a troll she is. No thanks. Peeping into women's rooms is a great way to get decommissioned as Detective Holmes. Hey, Ma, you certainly lack a sense of romantic adventure for one so young. As a ghost, it's only natural to peep on people here and there.
まあ許してくれよ
Forgive me. After the graphic premonition you witnessed, I'm
後だからな
a little surprised might be a welcome diversion.
気持ちだけ受け取っておきます
I appreciate the thought. I suppose Holmes' prank did distract me from my mental panic somewhat. Recall what I saw in my dream with a clear mind. All of the detectives dead upon the floor, the stench of blood, their faces contorted in anguish, and Holmes warning me that the future holds this catastrophe in store.
ホームズさん
Holmes, do you remember what we talked about in my dream?
もちろん覚えているよ
Of course I remember. As I said, I can read your mind, so I know what you're thinking right this moment. You refuse to believe me, don't you? Enough of that. Everything we spoke of during that dream is true. Now you're aware of the denouement, the ability I had to predict the future. And as we saw, the predicted future we face is death for all. Funny, isn't it? Predict the future? Come on. How would that even work? Why do I have this ability all of a sudden? My brain can't keep up with this. Yes, well, I can't say I understand the principles behind it myself. You can't? Then how? When a thing comes naturally, you don't question the process behind it, do you? You breathe, but can you explain how your body takes in oxygen? No, I can't, but... Exactly. The same goes for my denouement. What matters is that it allows me to see the future. I have no interest in how it works. Huh, that's one way to go about it. I get the feeling that I've been tricked by her silver tongue. Or is that just my imagination? At any rate, don't you think we should set our minds on a much higher priority right now? Huh? What higher priority would that be? If and how we can prevent that tragedy you glimpsed, of course. Her words give me a start. She's right, there's no time to despair. Not after the tragedy I've foreseen. Right now I need to figure out what I can do to change that outcome. But how would I even start? Is it possible to change whatever future this denouement ability predicts? Naturally, predicting and preemptively stopping tragedies is how my reputation grew to begin with. If you act with conviction, I'm confident that you too can alter fate's design. But I'm just a total nobody. What difference could I even make? Honestly, I'm not so sure. Even outside of her ability, Holmes was an incredibly gifted person. But me, incompetent is literally in my name. There's no way I'd have the power to change the future on my own. There's no need to change it on your own. What? How did you know what I was... Oh. How many times must I remind you that I can read your thoughts? A single pebble can tip a scale. Are you familiar with the saying? Many presume their deeds are of no consequence, but they couldn't be more wrong. Even the smallest ripple will disturb the water's surface, in turn leading to other shifts elsewhere. So too will the ripples you make cause others to act, thereby playing a greater role in changing the future than they otherwise would have. Is that how it works? That is indeed how it works. Her eloquent words still seem to be leading me on, but I'll trust her for now. Either way, I wasn't planning to stand idly by. What's more, changing the actions of others will be the key to changing the future. Changing their actions? But how? There are several ways. Those who trust you can simply be asked to adjust. Those who are hostile, however, may need to be forced into doing so. Apart from that, it would probably be advantageous to save those detectives who are fated to die. But what I saw, there's no way that could actually happen. Couldn't it? I've not been in this manner much, and there are many potential traps. A killer privy to this could easily use that against you. As I said, the mastermind behind this is both prepared and frightfully cunning. Be ready to force a path through, no matter what happens. That way, you will avoid repeating my mistake. These words weigh especially heavily coming from the now-deceased Holmes. I need to get myself together. Being reunited with Holmes has made me just a little too lax. Even she was no match for this adversary. I need to put my game face on if I'm going to tackle this. I'm sorry, Holmes. I promise to take your words to heart. That's the spirit, Wato. There's just one more thing I want from you. Holmes' face grows stern as she speaks with a strong voice and clipped tones that I've never heard her use before. Under no circumstances are you to tell anyone that you can see me, or that you've inherited my abilities. Why not? It wouldn't be easy to convince them, but if we prove it's true, wouldn't that make everything much simpler?
バレてしまうと確実
If anyone finds out, you're certain to be eliminated, Wato. I will explain why in time. For now, please do as I say.
ほら君にお
Ah,
客様
I do believe you have visitors. Just then, someone knocks on the door. I open it to see Armor and Doleful. They've come to tell me that Mystics made breakfast.
ありがとう、二人とも。
Thanks, guys. I'm a little sweaty, so I'm gonna jump in the shower before heading to the dining room.
了解である。
Understood.
魔界さんの手料理
Mystics' home cooking is delicious. Just so you know, we'll go on ahead and get started. Once they leave, I take the towel prepared for me in my room and head to the bathroom on the second floor. Right at that moment.
ではシャワー室に向かうと
Off to the shower then, are we? For some reason, Holmes acts like tagging along is the normal thing to do here.
なんで
Huh?
ついてくる
Why are you following me? I'm about to take a shower. Can't you wait in my room or at the dining table?
おいおい君
Oh, now listen to what you're saying. Didn't I tell you at the start that we can't be separated?
え僕
Huh?
自ら離れよう
You
として
mean you
もダメな
can't
んですか
move away from me no matter how hard you try?
ああ待って
So it would seem. Think of me as a dog on a leash. I simply get pulled along wherever you're heading.
まあ見られてる
It's not as if it'll hurt if I see something. Besides, you don't mind anyway, do you?
構います。
Of course I mind. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is to have a girl watch me shower? Well, isn't that selfish of you? Fine then, I'll be waiting just outside. Okay.
ただ一点だけ
But you remember that I'm a ghost now. I can't help it if I happen to sneak a peek every once in a while.
覗く気満々じゃないですか。
That sounds like you're planning to. After showering, I head down to the dining room. The detectives have gathered around the long table, just as they did last night. But unlike yesterday, no one needs to stand guard, meaning this time the entire group is clustered together.
魔界さんの作る料理激
Oh my gosh, Mystic. This is delish. I'm like totally a British foodie now. You need not embrace me so tightly, downtown detective. My earthly travels have earned me much skill with preserved foods such as these.
テレレレと鼻の下を伸ばして
Flirting with students? You old sleazebag of a father. The girl grumbled, scowling at the sausages on her plate. Easy now, downtown is touchy-feely with everyone. Let's not blow things out of proportion.
本当に美味しいわ
It's all so scrumptious, especially these sandwiches. The aroma of the wine vinegar, these fresh, juicy cucumbers. I'm swooning.
魔界さん
You must tell me how it's prepared, Mystic, so I can add it to my recipe book.
僕も知りたいです。
Yeah, I'd like it too. Even my mentor back at my part-time job could probably handle making these. But of course, in addition, I shall also impart the provincial British folklore associated with these sandwiches. Mystic proceeds to give Gourmet and me the recipe, along with a ghost story I don't really follow. Ghosts, get it? Ghosts. As we eat, the conversation naturally turns to everyone's reports from yesterday.
昨日洋館中を探してみましたけど出入り口は
I combed the manor from top to bottom, but as expected, the only way in or out is the front door. There's no way for anyone to escape.
最後の近くに
It would have
いるように
expedited our search considerably if we'd found another secret passage like the one behind the painting.
俺も退屈しのぎに館の中
I got bored, so I also scoped the manor out and didn't turn up anything particularly suspicious,
で
though.
もラッキーなことに
But as luck would have it, I did come across the blueprints to this manor in the study.
見取り図ですって
If you say blueprints, how can you just offhandedly bring up something so important?
これが序列要因と
I guess that's just the difference between a number 4 and a number 5, eh? Yeah, show us at once, you dingy mophead. Everyone looks at the blueprint spread across the table. Even at a glance, you can see the suspicious space behind the painting. Is there really another hidden passageway? We should be able to find it in these floor plans. However, no matter how hard we scrutinize them, we can't see any area where another hidden passage could exist.
やっぱりこの洋館を出る
Like I
には
thought, the only way out is to start knocking walls down. Say the word, and I shall lay down my life for my compatriots. I stand ready and willing to cross blades with that wicked contraption.
そんなことしちゃダメ
You,
だよ
you can't do that. We all need to make it out of here together.
飛脚ちゃんの言う通りよ
Dolpho's right, you know. Fortunately, we have plenty of food, so waiting until help arrives is the best course of action.
うちも救助待ちに参戦
Yeah, I'm down with that too. HQ probably noticed our comms are on the fritz, so they should send help once they realize something's up. Plus, we got like a whole squad here. All we gotta do is hunker down and keep each other safe.
私も渋谷さんに賛成だ
I must agree with Downtown. I looked outside this morning and spotted that black machine still circling the manor.
下手に脱出を図るよりも
Instead of panicking and trying to escape, we should remain calm and continue our investigation of the building's interior.
私も異論はない
I too find no fault with this plan.
書斎に本がたくさんある
The study is filled with books, so at least we won't be bored, said the girl, sharing a rather useless tidbit of information. Just then, I hear someone laugh. We all turn to look, only to see Renegade Detective grinning. He begins to speak, his voice dripping with mockery.
待つしかない
Nothing to do but wait. Keep calm and investigate. So happy-go-lucky. I bet the culprit's having a laugh of their own right now.
どういう意味ですか
What do you mean?
そもそも
Doesn't something feel off about this? Us sitting around enjoying a warm meal?
今回の犯人は
Remember, the culprit predicted our every move in order to imprison us in this manner. Oh. What Renegade Detective is saying suddenly makes sense. If the culprit wanted to annihilate us, there would be no need to go to such lengths.
扉の鍵を壊しておけば
Had they destroyed the lock to the door, we'd have all died to that machine. They also could have gotten rid of our food supply beforehand. So let's do as Holmes would and face the reality before us to reason out what our perpetrator is plotting.
この洋館が住みやすくされているという
This manor is easily sustainable. With that in mind, what is the culprit's true goal here? I mean, based on the Monado vision we got, I would say this. But based on the evidence, it almost feels like they're just trying to imprison us and let us sit here. But it could also be prepared. I mean, these all make sense. No, they wouldn't gain anything by fighting that black machine. In fact, they're probably using it. They want to do something. I didn't say that's what. Okay, whatever.
洋館が住みやすくされているという 犯人の
Alright, that was it. Imprisoning us in the manor. In other words, forcing us to burn out our time here.
素晴らしい回答
Splendid
だよ
answer, incompetent. Basically, us sitting here in gross idle chit-chat is exactly what the quartering duke wants.
このまま何も
If we keep twiddling our thumbs like this, it'll just lead to an even greater calamity. Guaranteed. The dining room falls silent. Cheery atmosphere suddenly turns frosty. The catastrophic scene from my dream flashes in the back of my mind.
このままじゃ
We can't keep going on like business as usual.
この惨劇は
If we do, we'll never manage to avoid that fate. Renegade Detective is absolutely right, but he clearly gets a kick out of inciting chaos. We can't rely on him to help us avert catastrophe.
波の行動じゃ運命は変えられない
Conventional behaviors won't shape fate. You're going to need serious resolve if you intend to change it.
さあワト君
This is it, Wato.
君の責
Show me what you'll do.
はい
Okay. Oh. After receiving a proverbial push on the back from Holmes, I make up my mind. I've got practically zero confidence in myself, but if I want to save everyone, I'm going to have to take action. What everyone needs right now is hope. Suffice it to say, they want to avoid being trapped here like the enemy wants. If I have to lie, then so be it. I've got to propose something that can break this deadlock.
でも策なんて何を
But I have no plan in mind,
何
and
も
Holmes is staying silent on
い
this.
や待てよ
Wait, maybe they'll pay attention if it's Holmes' words they're listening to. I make up a bluff. It's a double-edged sword, and if I'm caught, none of them will ever trust me again. But it's the only way I can think of.
そうだ一つ大切なことを
Hold
思
on
い
a
出し
second.
ました
I just remembered something important. I fight past the stammering and get my words out. All eyes turn to me. My breath catches in my throat. It's over if they figure out I'm lying. Can't falter now. My body is in moments away from shaking, but I keep it under control and begin to speak.
実はこの洋館にはもう一つ
There's actually another hidden passage in the manor. I need to find it and get out of here as soon as possible. Silence. They think I'm stupid. My outburst takes everyone by surprise. They all just sit there, staring at me in amazement.
隠し通路ですって
Another hidden passage? How would you a fresh oh god, what did I even do for a minute ago? Another hidden passage? And how would you, a fresh-faced recruit, be privy to this information?
序列上位の私
Information even a high-ranking detective such as myself is unaware of. And that it's laughable, ridiculous.
ホームズさんが死ぬ前
Holmes told me before she died. She said I should look for it if I was ever in real trouble.
あの女が
You heard this from my deal? Bosch detective falls silent. Holmes' words are the chief's after all. Not to mention, everyone here knows that the chief was fond of me. It's compelling enough, if only just. As I predicted, the effect is immediate.
無能さんリーダー
What else did the chief say, incompetent?
ごめんなさい
Sorry, that was it.
用心深い彼女ら
How
しいです
prudent. Of course, she always was. In that case, how we split into two teams that investigate?
どうして二手に分け
And why, pray tell, must we form teams at all? I'm quite capable on my own, I'll have you know.
昨夜作ったこの監視
Because I'd like you to all install these surveillance cameras I made last night, in key locations on the first and second floor. Becky takes out a large handful of small cameras from a cardboard box at his feet, arranging them on the table with her at his help.
君の作りたいものがあるとか
Is this what you meant when you said you were going to
これ
prepare something last night?
ええ
Of course. The culprit could be hiding in the manor, so I figured these should be indispensable.
渋谷さんの所有
They're
していた
modified from the cameras on downtown smartphones, so they're not too durable, but I can use my tablet to monitor all the
タ
feeds.
ブレットで全ての記録映像
これ全部渋谷さんの
Downtown smartphones? As in multiple?
そうだよ
No duh, I've got one for work, friends, gaming, detective-ing. You get the picture. Didn't know they came in handy.
いや監視カメラの場所がわからない
It'd
ってい
be
うのは
it'd be unnerving for any of us to not know where each of them is set up, so I'll share their locations with everyone as we go.
さすがに
Moving around with all 12 of us would be difficult, though, so I'd like to split into two groups of 6, one for each floor.
うちは意義な
No complaints here.
僕も賛成
Me neither. Working in groups will be much safer, too.
さすがは科学殿である
Magnificent as always, Sir Techie. Needless to say, you have my fullest cooperation.
八つ崎港の動きを監視する
Monitoring the quartering Duke's movements will make it hard for him to strike. It's an excellent plan. The rest of the detectives follow downtown to me with their own seals of approval. Tried it all. Now I've been made to appear self-serving.
わがままなお嬢
Do you have even a shred of self-awareness, Princess All About Me?
もじゃろうけばお黙りなさい
Hold your tongues, you bespectacled sheepdog. It is for the best that I tag along, then so be it. Despite Pasha's huffing and puffing, she eventually acquiesces to Techie's suggestion after which we split ourselves into two teams. After much discussion, I find myself in a team with these 5 detectives. I feel bad thinking it, but I'm relieved to not be working with Renegade and Posh. There's likely to be less trouble this way.
下道君私たちの管轄は一
Wait,
回
we're
だ
in charge of the first
一人で
floor,
行かないでく
Renegade.
れ
Don't just wander off. Seems the other group, or at least Workaholic, is already having trouble. His shouting continues as the second team exits calmly. I think I'm gonna pause for a little bit. I think this is a good place to take a break.